Hey everybody, welcome back to Wicked Good Sports. This is a new segment that we're calling Around the Diamond, where we're going to focus on the Boston Red Sox, but we'll talk about all pertinent baseball, coverage, news, anything you can imagine. And we're joined by our new contributor, Rhett Conaway. Rhett, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Baseball's back. The sun's shining. The Sox are in first. What could be better?
Literally, it's perfect start. Maybe not the perfect start to the season, but a good start to the season with all that. So yeah, like I said, Rhett, you're gonna be our baseball guy. We haven't had any baseball coverage on the channel, and it's bothered me to no end because, I mean, who doesn't love baseball over the summer? So we're gonna be kind of touching on the fact that there's really nothing to worry about right now. People get all in a tizzy about the Red Sox so early. So you wrote a blog today. Let me get the title right here. The Red Sox pitching staff is going to be fine. Quit worrying. Tell me about that, and let's see where this goes.
Well, yeah, to start, definitely with baseball, you have such a long season, you can't 11 games in decide anything.
Right.
Especially when it comes to the bullpen, it's just way too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Also, with starting pitching, those guys really like to amp up. If we're talking spring training, they show up 10 days before anyone else. You abbreviate that spring training down to 3 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to see some struggles. I mean,
Of course.
in the blog, I talk about Nathan Eovaldi. His big problem has been home runs. He's had, I believe it is now 6 home runs through 14.2 innings pitched. That's not what you want. Those are not good long-term numbers.
Not great,
But
yeah.
that's going to be, yeah, I mean, but that's going to be down to location. That's going to be down to things like finding your slider. Last night, it was a slider that was left middle in,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy jumped on it. I think of note, that was the only run that he let up the entire night. Pitched very well. And then you get into the bullpen. The bullpen was a big worry for a lot of guys. Guys get
Mm-hmm.
scared when you don't recognize all the names in the bullpen. The bullpen was an issue last time. We right now have one of the best bullpens in baseball. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
between Ekman and Whitlock, these guys are performing and are performing very, very well. I think our top 4 or 5 guys have a 102 average against or something. I don't remember the batting average off the top, but I know that the ERA is a sub one.
Pretty
Um,
good.
so yeah, our bullpen's doing good. Michael Waka, he was a gamble. I don't like to use the word gamble, but he was a gamble. And early on, he's been fantastic. Easter Sunday, he was hitting all of his spots. He struck out 5 through 5. You know, Pavetta, he's going to settle down. He's going to get it. Right now, I think we're exactly where we want to be, knowing that we still have Chris Sale coming back in June. We still have James Paxton, who, unfortunately, we don't know when he's coming back, but he will boost the starting rotation. And
Mm-hmm.
Josh Taylor is making rehab starts, so that's going to be another very good lefty out of the pen.
Yeah, no, and so before we came on, you talked a little bit about how this is kind of a weird season because of the lockout. We're kind of almost in extended spring training. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
So all the rosters right now are extended to 28 guys, and that's
Mm-hmm.
because no one wants to extend out their pitching too much.
Right.
To give you an idea of that, Garrett Whitlock, our star of the pen, has more innings pitched than all but Evaldi in our starting rotation, because we feel like we can extend them out 3 or 4 innings at a time, while
Mm-hmm.
most of our starting pitchers are only getting 4 or 5 innings.
Right.
That is going. I mean, the bullpen troubles, when they do show up, because they will. We do not have the strongest bullpen in baseball, but
Mm-hmm.
the bullpen troubles are going to be alleviated when we can get 6 and 7 innings out of Evaldi, and Pavetta starts being able to go deeper into games, and then
Mm-hmm.
Rich Hill becomes the inning eater that he was over the past several seasons. And that's going to take time. On top of that, good power hitters like Stanton and Rizzo and Devers are always able to jump out early.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't take them a long time to find their swing. They have simple swings. So they start
Right.
performing very well. We saw it in New York. I mean, Rizzo, I think he went deep every single game that we played in New York. It was getting to be problematic. But
Right.
it's one of those things where no team has found their stride. Every
Mm-hmm.
team in the East right now is 6-6 or 6-5. I mean,
Right.
apart from the Orioles, but you know how that is.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess what's the outlook for the season? Like, what's a reasonable expectation of this Red Sox team in your eyes, having seen a small sample, but a sample size so far?
I think that we are better than we were last year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would be much more confident. I would say that we are definitely better than we were last year if we had Chris Sale for an entire season.
Right.
But right now, I think that we are better. I think Trevor Story is going to add a lot. You want to talk about an abbreviated spring training? Not only was it abbreviated, but he signed late. And not only did he sign late, when he was supposed to make his first start, his wife went into labor. And then he got food poisoning in New York. I mean, he's had 60% of the at-bats as some of the other guys. He's going to get hot, and we're going to see balls hit into the Mass Pike again.
Right.
He can really get a hold of them, and I'm very excited about him. I think Devers is another year older. He has already shown better patience. He's shown better defense. He's not going to win a Gold Glove. Matt Chapman's going to have that locked up in Toronto. There's nothing we can do about it, but he's getting better, absolutely. I like having JBJ back in right field. We are going to miss Renfroe's bat, but I think Waka can add a lot to the rotation. I think Hill is going to be a great innings eater. I'm excited for what Paxton could bring, especially coming back off Tommy John. A lot of times now guys are coming back stronger. That is not a for sure.
Right.
We don't know that, but we could be set up very, very well. As for where that lands us, Fangraphs had the Toronto Blue Jays, the New York Yankees, the Boston Red Sox, and the Tampa Bay Rays all finishing at 88 and 74.
Yep. I think
no one knows
that.
what this division's going to be. And 11 or 12 games into the season, we still do not know what it's going to be because the Blue Jays, the Sox, and the Red Sox are all 6-5, and the Rays are 6-6.
So
it's going to be brutal. It's going to be a slugfest.
It should make for a fun season as fans, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a great season. And to add to that, with seasons like that, what you want to do is you want to stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the difference. You've seen it get after Yankee teams in the past couple of years. You can't keep Stanton on the field. It doesn't do you any good. And I think that's where a lot of the underlying pitching issues come in. We lose a couple guys, things could be very bad, but that's true up and down the line.
Right.
I mean, the Toronto Blue Jays, yes, they're hot, and yes, they have a lot of very good teams, but they also, very good players, but they also lost Marcus Semien. They lost their Cy Young winner in Robbie Ray. Jose Barrios is a replacement, but he's not Robbie Ray, and he's never going to be. It's, the Yankees, a lot of it comes back to how's Luis Severino going to do, because he's missed the past 2 seasons, essentially. If he comes back very strong and Cole pitches like he did last year, but then if Sale comes back in June and puts together a Cy Young second half, we all have no idea. And then no one knows anything about the Rays. We never know anything about the Rays. And you look into the standings, and there they are, like always. So,
very impressive every year. I'm always impressed with how the Rays are managed to compete. But I guess anything else you want to cover? Any surprises? Any disappointments? Even the floor is yours.
I think the surprising bit is how Whitlock has been used out of the pen. He's already had multiple multi-inning saves. Last night was the 2-1 win against Toronto, and that was the only time that he was using a traditional closer's role. And that is leaving Matty Barnes in a position where we don't know when or where he's going to be used. I've seen him in the 6th inning. He doesn't seem to be our closer anymore. He's pitched well in the games he's pitched, so I don't think it's a health issue. I don't think it's a confidence issue. Looking at that, we already touched on Josh Taylor. He's making his rehab start. He made a rehab start on Sunday. Very excited to get him back. I think that when he does come back, we'll probably be losing Austin Davis out of the pen, lefty for lefty. And then the only other thing I want to touch on is I'm not 100% sure on Cutter Crawford yet. I just want to remind everyone that he is a rookie, and this is a very tough league. And don't get too down on him. But I also see him being one of the guys that gets sent down when the rosters go from 28 to 26 come May 1st. Just because he's a rookie, he's going to need more time. But I'm looking good. The bats are starting to come alive. Rafi's been hitting well. Kike has found his bat. It seems like every time he gets a hit, it's a double. Bogart's hit a mammoth home run. Trevor Story's going to start getting hits. I'm very excited about this. A little worried about what happens when we go to Toronto, and a couple of our guys can't make it because they've decided not to be vaccinated.
It's such a difficult thing that we're like every sport has it. Jack and I worried about potentially some Celtics not being vaccinated in case they play Toronto. It's a personal thing, and we don't get into that on this show, certainly.
Yeah,
but
no, it's fair. I'm just
tough.
the only thing is right now is Tanner Houck. He seems to be the only one.
Mm.
Chris Sale is also not vaccinated, but he's not pitching right now. So lock him
it
change
doesn't
in a
matter.
couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter right now anyway. But no, apart from that, it's early days, and I'm happy that we're playing as well as we are.
Yeah, no, definitely. Any social media, anything you want to plug besides the blog?
Nope. You can find me on Wicked Good Everything Sports. I write a blog on there, and apart from that, if you want to follow Rhett Conaway on Instagram, you can see pictures of my kid. That's about it.
So go follow him there. I think very healthy you're not on Twitter. Twitter cesspool. People shouldn't be on it.
Oh yeah, don't like Twitter.
I should not spend as much time.
Twitter, and that's it.
I should not spend as much time on Twitter as I do, but hey, it's got its talons, so to speak, very wrapped around me.
Yeah,
So.
and it can be very useful. I get it. I just let other people filter it for me.
No, it's smart. It's smart, definitely. All right, like Red said, check him out on the blog. That is wickedgoodeverythingsports.com. We got a lot of stuff going on there. We're covering the 4 major sports. I'm even talking about USFL. I might do a blog about a player who got cut because he chose a slice of pizza over chicken salad. Wild times in the spring league going on. So we'll see there. Other than that, you can follow the channel on Twitter at WickedSport, at WG Everything, Instagram Wicked Everything, Twitch at twitch.tv/Wicked Everything, and on TikTok, search Wicked Sports, search Wicked Everything. Rhett, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Brian.
And we'll see you all in the next one.